When I was a kid, my family swore by Alpine Butcher. We've picked up steaks, chicken, hot dogs, and they even included the buns. But in 2025, I had to ask, is Alpine Butcher still worth the hype? Or are we just paying top dollar for an old school vibe? I dropped $154 on steak tips, a ribeye, and some chicken. And those steak tips alone were almost 50 bucks a pop. So let's see if the quality still holds up, or if they're becoming way too expensive to keep in my fridge. Alpine Butcher is no newcomer to the meat game. They've been slicing premium cuts in Lowell, Massachusetts since 1913. 4 generations of the Doyle family running this old school butcher shop like a legacy. We're talking USDA Prime beef, humanely raised chicken and pork, and even Japanese A5 Wagyu for those high rollers out there. You know who you are. They're one of the only butchers in the United States to offer certified Kobe beef, and all of their seafood comes straight from Boston docks. You'll find dry-aged beef, gourmet sausages, game meats, and even Wagyu, if you're feeling a bit fancy. For your high rollers again. Everything is vacuum sealed, flash frozen, and shipped out in coolers. So yes, they do deliver nationwide. Free shipping kicks in at $150, which explains why I hit the price tag real quick. But if you're paying for shipping, that could be a free steak. And well, I'd rather pay for a free steak and not have to pay shipping charges. Does that make sense? But hey, look at it this way. You can either pay for shipping because you're just under the $150, or you could just be adding another steak in there. And then you could look at that, you're getting free shipping. That means you're getting kind of a free steak, because originally you didn't want to buy that extra steak. Instead, that money was going toward shipping, which doesn't go into your mouth. All right, their website is super helpful if you've got allergies. They list every marinade and what's in it, so you can avoid surprises. That said, I wish there was a little more information about their ingredients overall. I couldn't really find a whole lot compared to other companies like Dom's in Boston, who tell you everything up front, every single ingredient. Alpine, not quite as clear. So now, on to my favorite part, the classic unboxing. So off the bat, the box, perishable, Rush. Doesn't tell you a whole lot about the company, but they do have some branded tape on here. That's the only way you can tell. Compared to some other boxes that show a bit more. All right, open this up. Oh no! We have a postcard. This was hand-packed on June 26th. 2025. Thank you for supporting our family business. Follow us. I'll give you a little QR code. I don't know if you can see that or not. Beautiful. Now, this is not what I like to see in a food box. Styrofoam. I don't think I did it right. Now this is a Pro Pack cooler. These are great because when I go to the beach in the summer, I just bring these. Then I can just toss them in the public trash because I pay for my trash. All right, so we have some paper insulator. This came via UPS. It only took 1 day to get here. They shipped it yesterday. And that's only because they only live like 30 miles from me. So they used regular ice and it's still frozen. Today is like 100 degrees outside. So I'm happy to see there's still ice. We've got 1 block, we have 2 blocks. If it's gonna take a lot longer to get to you, they're gonna put dry ice in there. At least that's what their website says. All right, on top here, a nice, juicy ribeye steak. US inspected and passed by the Department of Agriculture. Well, I know this is a ribeye because I ordered a ribeye steak, but it doesn't say ribeye. Looks like a ribeye, but who knows? It could be a New York strip. It's hard as a rock, it's still frozen. Off, so. Next on the list, let's take out some chicken. So we got some lemon pepper chicken breasts. It's 1.5 pounds. If you saw my Tucking Good video, that came as 2.5 pounds, but we can talk about pricing later. But this is marinated and a little thawed, so that one might be going in my fridge. Next up, we have some Rosemary Maplewood cold smoked USDA steak tips. I saw this on the bottom of their website and I was like, is this going to be any good? What the heck is cold smoked? So I had to check it out. And rosemary maple? Tuck and I got maple, and I wasn't a huge fan of that flavor in general. So hopefully the rosemary adds a little extra to that maple to make it taste really good. It's not knocking. It's a little soft. All right. And then we got 1.53 pounds. So they're making sure that it's at least 1.5 pounds, which is good because that's what I paid for, 1.5 pounds. Ooh, this one seems a little bit heavier. This one's got juice. So this one's kind of on the way out the door. So this is the Alpine Steakhouse USDA Prime steak tips. It's half frozen and a little bit thawed out. All right, we got 1.54 pounds. So nothing is under what I paid. It's actually a little bit over, just a smidge. All right. And then what else we got in this box? There's 2 more bags of ice. Now hard as a rock. Perfect. All right, now let's head outside and get some of these steaks cooked up. It's like 100 degrees outside today. I should really just go put these outside on my brand new log cast iron griddle that I just got the other day and see if they cook without even being on a smoker or a grill in general. It's so hot out there. I bet if I let that sit out there for about an hour, came out, put these steaks on, they would sizzle so good. But we'll see. Which one are we gonna do first? We'll just take all of them. Some of these have to go in the fridge first, so. All right, today we're cooking up some Alpine Butcher, lemon pepper chicken, and we got the Rosemary Maplewood cold smoked steak tips.
This is steak tips.
Nice. Let's open these bad boys up and throw them on the grill. All right, here we go. We got the chicken. And then here's the steak tips. My first impression of the steak tips is this is just a giant piece of meat. It's not really cut up into small steak tips, so when I cut this up now so it cooks better, you know, marinade's not going to go all the way around. So, did the marinade penetrate the inside of this? I strongly doubt it. Then we have like a normal sized steak tip, and then we have another massive steak tip. Like, person packaging this really didn't try too hard at all. So right off the bat, kind of pissed off right now. Because I have to cut these down to size so that actually they cook evenly. Because this bad boy is going to take forever. That one might take some time too. I thought the chicken was going to take the longest. But, come on guys. That is ridiculous. Look at the size of that steak tip. Is that even a piece of steak tip? Like someone got lazy. If the other steak tips like this, I am definitely never buying these again because I do not want to cut these. All right, let's get to cutting. These steak tips are all cut up. Another impression, they were actually kind of hard to cut up. So are they going to be chewy? Compared to Tucking Good right now, Tucking had it down. Those were the most tender steak tips I've ever had, even if I didn't love the flavor. So, make sure you watch out that video at the very end. it's time to taste these steak tips and see if they're any good. What do you think? Are they gonna be good? Are they gonna be bad? Do you like it? Is that good steak? Is that good steak? You like it? No more? Yeah? There you go. Steak tips are kids approved. Now for my turn. Bon appetit. Yeah, it's very different. It's got a really strong smoked maple taste. Never had anything like it before. A little chewy. That seasoning is very powerful. Good though. I like trying something different. Yeah, you can have as much as you want. Wow. Those steak tips have a very strong aftertaste. Very smoky. Very different. Cold smoke. Never heard of it, but it works. All right. Chicken is done. Let's try it.
Wow.
Seasoning's a little strange, but it's better than the smoked steak tips. Tastes like a normal chicken breast with a kind of basic seasoning on there. A little dry, but that's chicken breast. I'm more of a chicken thigh guy. Also, did I mention these pups right here are dying to have some? All right, one for Coda. Do you approve? Do you approve? Dog's proof. Boom. All right. Well, would I get the chicken again? Yeah, I get the chicken again. That'd actually be great for a Wagyu barbecue because it has a basic profile, so it's not gonna scare anybody away. But this smoked maple rosemary steak tips, cold smoked, sorry. The flavor is kind of out there and it's very strong. Probably not good for your backyard barbecue, but maybe more for, one-on-one or trying something new, because you might hate it, you might absolutely love it. I'll leave any promotional links in my description down below if you can save you some money, but I'll do my best. Also check out my website for more great deals. All right, see you back inside. All right, now I have another thing of Alpine Butcher steak tips. This is the house steak tips. So let's toss them on the grill and see how they taste. There's a lot of juice in here. It's probably not best to just pour it right on the grill. Might make a bigger mess, but I'm gonna do it. All right, so once again here, there is one massive steak tip. The other ones seem okay. I mean, this one right here seems a little big, but the one back here seems humongi. Then you have these three kind of small ones, and then there's a little piece of one right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut that big one up. My favorite part about making these reviews, taste test. Let's taste this medium rare steak. Oh. Okay, yeah, yep. That flavor is, wow, that is really good. That is a really good house marinade. Compared to the last one, the cold smoke, that was good, but very overpowering, like I mentioned before. Would I order these house steak tips again from Alpine Butcher? Yes, I would. I definitely would. They were a little expensive, not as expensive as Tuckin, like I mentioned before. I do have one other steak company I want to purchase from Massachusetts, and it's called Dom's Sausages. They were a sausage company, but now they make outstanding steak tips. At least that's what everybody tells me. I grew up eating Alpine Butcher. It's okay. Tastes like restaurant quality steak tips. Well, I didn't have to marinate them. I didn't have to do any of that stuff, right? So it is what it is. But I will see you back inside. So, was it worth the $154.96? The ribeye was thick, juicy, marbled like a dream. The chicken had a clean flavor, of very high quality. Not your average grocery store stuff that you might find there. But the steak tips, that's where things get a little tricky. They were really good, don't get me wrong. But at nearly 48 bucks a pack for only a pound and a half of steak tips, that price really stings. Especially since I've had steak tips just as tender for half the price at some smaller local spots. Alpine Butcher is definitely premium. You're paying for heritage, quality cuts, and the fact that they're still cutting meat the old-fashioned way. But hey, if you're on a budget, you might want to save them for a special occasion. If you're on the hunt for an epic steak tip at a better value, you need to check out my next video. Right here, actually. It's a company called Tuckin' Good. Yes, that's Tuckin' Good. It was reviewed by Guy Fiera himself on Diners, Dive-Ins, and Dives. Trust me, this is one review you won't want to miss.